Why don't we start with names and titles first? So, Chief, go ahead. So
Mike Bell, Fire Chief, the Rancho Cucamonga Fire District.
Anthony Onodera, Police Chief, Rancho Cucamonga Police Department.
Anthony, could you spell your last name for me?
Onodera.
Okay. And who's that dinging? Is that you?
Bing!
And we're here talking about the cooperation between the fire department and the police department. Tell us a little bit about, on an everyday basis, how you guys work together.
Me?
Let's start with you, Chief. Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Just in general.
in general, I mean, the fire district and the sheriff's department have been partners for years, decades actually, in the community of Rancho Cucamonga, and that relationship continues to evolve with new challenges and new technologies and new ways of interacting. I think an example today would be the fact that our firefighters actually monitor the police radio on the units when they're out and about, and in a sense become somewhat of an extra set of eyes for law enforcement. We don't go and respond to those incidents, but if we see something or hear of something, we're able to radio that to them, and it's just another way of getting and working together in respect to protecting the community.
Chief, from your perspective, how do your officers and deputies work in conjunction with the fire department?
Well, at so many different levels, interoperability is one of the main ones where we can communicate. The better that we can communicate with the fire department, I believe that we can affect more efficiencies within the city. To give you an example, out in the Cucamonga Canyon, we work hand in hand with fire to ensure the safety of all the people that are going up to use the canyon.
And I know one of the things you do is you have the dogs, and I'm assuming that they work also in conjunction in such a situation?
Yes, whenever we're searching for someone that is missing, critical missing, we use the bloodhounds, and sometimes fire is called out because of the medical condition of that person that's missing, and we work hand in hand with them to try and locate those missing people.
I think one of the things that we've seen, one of the most visible signs of you guys working together is the active shooter program, and kind of a different philosophy since Columbine, and how police and fire work together. God forbid that we have an active shooter. Tell us a little bit about how you guys work together and how it's different from perhaps past policies.
Well, that's an evolution. It came about, unfortunately, due to tragic incidents in other places in the country, like Columbine, where in retrospect they found that several of the victims unfortunately died because of a lack of basic treatment, just stopping the bleeding and such. And because of the dynamic nature of those scenes, it's been the standard practice for fire and medical personnel to be held out until law enforcement was certain that the threat was abated. But working closely with the Sheriff's Department, we have found ways to try to press that time frame so we can get to those victims sooner. And again, that's come about because of the great relationship we have with the Sheriff's Station here. And we've been working on that for over 10 years here in Rancho, and we think we've come up with a pretty good way of doing that, which is now being adopted by other communities and other agencies, not only in the region, but in the state and actually throughout the nation.
I would say, Chief, this is something that you guys are kind of at the forefront of, maybe not the first, but the forefront of coordinating with the fire department during an active situation. Tell me a little bit about why that's so important.
Well, understand that the concept is not new. We actually took the concept from the old combat medics in the United States military. What is new is applying it to the civilian population, and of course the relationships that the fire and police normally have. It's a little non-traditional, but we've been working on this for 10 years and developing it as we've gone along. So where we're at now is in a place where we feel very comfortable working hand in hand with the fire department, and I can only see it getting better from there.
Obviously, community safety is both a primary goal for both of you. You have a little different approach to it. How does working together improve public safety and community safety?
If I could, just a daily type example, a couple ones would be, medical calls. There are certain medical emergencies that really necessitate a rapid response, and oftentimes the deputies will hear those calls and respond if it's a basic first aid call, like a child drowning call or a person not breathing, and they're trained in first aid and CPR. And so they sometimes will get there and initiate that kind of treatment. And then we get on scene and do advanced life support measures. And we've had a couple of great outcomes based on those types of interactions. And you know, that represents really the day-to-day kind of work. Even this recently, we had a spate of fires along Baseline Avenue, small fires that were you know, likely set by somebody, and we were able to contact the Sheriff's Department, get their arson bomb folks out here, work hand in hand with them, and by the end of the day we had actually apprehended some suspects. So that's the day-to-day way that we work together.
How about Healthy RC? How does that fit in with the relationship, or is it just strengthen it by having policies that encourage healthy living and a healthy lifestyle?
Well, I think being that we're public safety, we all embrace a healthy lifestyle. We have a robust relationship and a very, how would I classify it?
Innovative
relationship when it comes to our health. We routinely challenge each other to softball games and other types of athletic events, in good nature, of course. But we embrace the concept of Healthy RC.
Those burrito breakfasts and those chili cook-offs help too, don't they, Chief?
But we don't eat any of those. We just give them to the fire department.
That's right.
Anything else that you guys wanted to talk about?
When we talk about collaboration, one of the non-traditional ways that we collaborate is whenever there are serious accidents or scenes where there's a fatality, we realize efficiencies by utilizing sometimes a fire chaplain or a sheriff's chaplain. And that's something a lot of times people don't see because it's after the fact. But it really allows one or the other to get there quicker and to actually assist those first responders to make sure they're okay and the victims of the tragedies. So that's another way that we realize efficiencies.
Mm-hmm. Chief, anything else?
You know, I think it's important to the community to know that we recognize the unique relationship between law enforcement and fire, and it's even more unique in our community. We have a sheriff department and a fire district serving a city, and so that layers with it several unique opportunities for us to really find new ways to work together, and that's what's been so successful here. And like I said, it goes back decades actually, but in the recent past, the effort has really stepped up with things like active shooter, the Look program that the sheriff put together, the Safe Routes to School. We're working together hand in hand on all those things to make the community safer.
And on a personal and professional level, we're committed to supporting each other throughout this endeavor.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
I think you got it right there.
Yeah.